Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulous. This is Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You, and I'm here with another edition of Notes from the Newsfeed. I always want to say Notes from the Newsfeed. Okay, Notes on the Newsfeed. What are my notes on the newsfeed? So, this is where I look at things that I have pulled off my newsfeed that I have text to my tablet to be shared on Twitter and my blog sometimes, and often Facebook, but almost always Twitter. Everything basically gets to Twitter. And here I'm basically just sharing the headlines with you. Some of these articles I've read the whole entire article. Some of them I have skimmed the article. Some of them I clicked through once and read the little paragraph after the headline, or might have skimmed the little paragraph after the headline. And some of them I've only read the headline. But you can read the whole article at Be Fabulous You. That's my Twitter feed, BeFabulous You, Be Fabulous You, one word, no spaces, just like this page here, and just the normal spelling of fabulous. Okay, so college football recruit slammed for wearing controversial t-shirt. The t-shirt said, "I hope I don't die for being black today. I hope I don't die today for being black," or something like that. And I think that the controversy is the fact that the child, who's like, he's a college football recruit, so I think he's in high school, 17 years old, that the child is living in a society where he has to wonder about and wear a t-shirt that says, "I hope I don't die for being black today." I don't really understand why him wearing that t-shirt is controversial. We all hope that he doesn't die. Well, I do. I mean, I don't know. Some of this stuff, it just kind of gets on my nerves. The controversial part of it. But, you know, he might have a hard time because they already figure he trouble. He might have a hard time getting recruited, you think? Which, again, you know, I'm not a big fan of football. I'm a fan of people having opportunities and having financial opportunities. And sometimes people feel that that's their only financial opportunity or their biggest and best financial opportunity. But I'm also a fan of people being healthy and not getting their head knocked in a whole bunch of times, which can compromise, you know, their mental health immediately or have long-term repercussions. So, you know, I don't watch football. I never really got into it. But then, you know, kind of just, you know, the idea of people jumping on you and banging, you know, it just seemed dangerous to me. We know that all things work for good. So God bless you, child. God bless you. A 3D printed bridge is being built using reinforced concrete. This 3D technology is really just coming right along, isn't it? Have you been following it? I've been following it for a couple of years. My mother told me she had a friend, Onyx Ashanti, who I've met. He does work with 3D. He's developed some 3D, a computer that does 3D building or something. I didn't really quite understand what was going on. But I had kind of heard, 3D printing. I had kind of heard about 3D printing before that, but then after that, I just got really, you know, kind of curious. So I usually will kind of pull those articles, and hopefully sometimes I get a chance to read them. A lot of times, like if things are busy, I'll shoot stuff over to my feeds, because I think that if people make comments about it or whatever, then, you know, if it comes back up again, then maybe at that moment I'll have time, you know, to read it and, you know. Okay, Girl Boss comedy series canceled by Netflix after one season. Are we here? Netflix is doing the most right about now. I don't know anything about that particular series, but it seemed like it's a lot of activity with shows getting canceled over there at Netflix. Wallace Henry Thurman, the man who penned the expression, "the blacker the berry." I haven't read any of his work, but I think he was making fun of the black intelligentsia. Wallace Thurman and Zora Neale Hurston, weren't they like cohorts? I don't know. But I like, you know, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I like that expression. Let's delete sex identity from birth certificates. I haven't read the article. I had so many mixed feelings seeing it. I mean, it was just kind of like a revelation to me, like, oh, what? Because we're so upset. I don't want to say we're so obsessed, but if someone says, I had a baby, it's like, well, is it a boy or a girl? That's like the first, second question you ask. And I remember years ago on Oprah or something, one of these shows, the people coming on the show and saying that, you know, there's a certain percentage of people who at birth, there's no way to really identify whether they're a boy or a girl. Like they could be a girl with a really big clitoris, or they could be a boy with a really small penis. And so the doctor and the parents just had been in the practice of making a decision about the child's gender at that time, and usually I think I heard that they would choose female. But anyway, it's just like, you know, once you know the gender of your of the children, you dress them a certain way, and I think that we also address them a certain way. Like I always try to, when I see girls, not say, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, but say, oh my god, she's so smart, you know. Now, it's true, little dark-skinned girls, I'll be like, oh my god, you are so bright and alert and smart and beautiful, you know. So anyway, yeah, so I just think, you know, it's good to be challenged and to not know how to feel about certain things, right? Give you something to think about, something to learn, something to marinate on. 64 years later, the CIA finally released the details of the coup in Iran. Now, I don't know anything about the coup in Iran, but I know that the CIA be out there doing things. And my very first roommate in college, she was from Iran. And I would always say Iran, and she'd be like, Iran! And she lived in New York. She lived about 20 blocks uptown from the school. And I'm kind of like, who goes to school in where their hometown is? And she's like, well, if you live in New York, which is the best city in the world, you do. And I was kind of like, oh, okay. It seems like you're missing out on seeing more of the world and experiencing more. But I mean, New York is, you know, but anyway, we had a weird, and then in the wintertime, I'd come into the room, it would be like, you know, the wintertime, like in New York, it would be cold. And homegirl would be there with the window wide open. And I come in, I close the window. I mean, it was just like, it was, I mean, I don't want to say it was awful, but it was definitely a culture, it was an adjustment, and it was a challenge. It was an experience. Why some gadgets have to pay to be on TV and some don't. Inside the tricky world of product placement. I didn't even know that you could get on TV for product placement without paying, because you'll see them turn cans around and turn stuff around. I always figured that people didn't pay up, so they ain't gonna advertise their stuff for free. European Tech Conference focuses on African tech entrepreneurship. College football recruit, slammed for wearing controversial t-shirt. How did that get on my news feed twice? Writer sues Tupac filmmakers, alleges copyright infringement. I can't remember who the writer was, but it's like I didn't get the impression of them being a flighty kind of person. Okay, so I'm going to have to scroll down for some other stuff, so we'll just break it up into another edition. But that's this edition of Notes from the Newsfeed. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, and we're working on our 100 subscribers. Woo! So exciting, so exciting, so exciting! And I'm working on 10,000 views, so I think I'm like, by September, that's, you know, that's the vision, that's the goal. So, that's what I got for you, Fabulites. Be you, be fabulous, you. Peace.